First of all, setting proper motivation. So we have some of the seniors. We request some of the seniors to do the prayers, like what Joshua is doing by rotation, and so for this, all those who are going to lead the prayers from today, as you find in this book, the great teachers said two things important. Two things important, one at the beginning and one at the end. At the beginning, setting a proper motivation, and at the end, dedicating the merits properly. First, beginning, second, proper motivation. Today, I'm going to say this. From tomorrow, those who lead the prayers, they will say this. Okay. So, setting proper motivation, three things. One, refuge field. Number two, Bodhichitta field. Number three, the purpose of this practice. The first, refuge field, visualize Buddha Shakyamuni, His Holiness the Dalai Lama, and all the Buddhist Bodhisattvas in the space in front of us, are so loving, caring, and embracing. And the strength of the visualization and how you visualize the refuge field, Buddhist Bodhisattvas in the space in front of us, that will ensure that we'll be connected with the Dharma in the future lives also. And that this will be the ground for all the other very enlightened and good deeds to happen. For the Bodhichitta field, second one, visualize your two parents, and some of us may have complication with your parents. It doesn't matter. So this is a time where we're going to learn how to generate this compassion to all the beings by seeing everyone, including your parents, like the small children. As long as they don't have this, they don't learn the wisdom of emptiness and Bodhicitta, there's no way by which we can expect them to become so matured, which would really appeal you at all times. So as such, given that they don't get the chance to do that, this is the outcome, that complications arise. So instead of feeling unhappy about them, instead you should be feeling very compassionate, given that they didn't get the chance to practice the study, contemplate and practice this wisdom of emptiness and the Bodhicitta, the unconditional love for the Bodhicitta. So visualize your two parents, all of family members, including children, and all other dear mother sentient beings living on the side, human beings, animals, insects, hungry ghosts, god and goddesses, spirits, everyone with you living on the side. And this being the very holy place where the Buddha became enlightened, just visualize that this is the opportunity for me to be in this holy place, be inspired and receive blessings from the Buddha Shakyamuni, His Holiness the Dalai Lama, that I must make the most of my being here. And number three, the purpose of this practice. The purpose of this practice is to awaken the hidden treasure within me by resorting to the wisdom which is to be complemented by the motivation of Bodhicitta, supported by renunciation. So with this in mind, let us do the following recitations with Joshua leading us.
Bottom of page 3. So we will recite the beginning of bottom of page 3. Enthused by great compassion, you taught the immaculate Dharma to dispel all perverted views. To you, the Buddha Gautama, I pay homage. Enthused by great compassion, you taught the immaculate Dharma to dispel all perverted views. To you, the Buddha Gautama, I pay homage. Enthused by great compassion, you taught the immaculate Dharma to dispel all perverted views. To you, the Buddha Gautama, I pay homage. Taking refuge and generating Bodhicitta, first we will say 3 times in Tibetan. Sangye Chokam Sogi Chonam Chanchu Padu Dani Kyapsuchi, Dani Jinso Kipe Sonaki, Drola Venture Sange Druparasho, Sange Jodan Zogi Jonamba, Chanchu Padu Dani Kyapsuchi, Dani Jinso Kipe Sonaki, Drola Venture Sange Druparasho, Sangye Jodan Sogi Chonamba Chanchu Pado Dani Gyapsuchi Dani Jinso Gipe Sonaki Dola Venture Sangye Juparasho. I go for refuge until I am enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha by my accumulations of the practice of giving and so forth. May I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. I go for refuge until I am enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha by my accumulations of the practice of giving and so forth. May I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. I go for refuge until I am enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha by my accumulations of the practice of giving and so forth. May I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. In dependent origination, there is no ceasing, no arising, no annihilation, no permanence, no coming, no going, no separateness, and no sameness. I prostrate to the consummate Buddha, the one who taught me peace, which is freed of elaborations. I prostrate to the mothers of the hearers, the Bodhisattvas and the Buddhas, which through the knowledge of all lead hearers seeking pacification to complete peace, which through the knowledge of past causes those who have been migrators to achieve the aims of the world, and through the possession of which helps the viewers expound a variety of teachings. The one who has transformed into the reliable guide, motivated by altruism to benefit sentient beings, the teacher, Sudata, and protector, to you I make prostrations. The one who has disseminated the web of conceptualizations and is endowed with the divine bodies of the vast and the profound, who eternally shines forth the forever noble light rays, to you, the Buddha, I make prostrations. Inspired by wisdom and compassion, today in the Buddha's presence, I generate the mind of full awakening for the benefit of all sentient beings. The essence of the dependent origination mantra. Om Ye Karma Hetu Prabhavam Hetum Desham Tatagato Yavadat Desham Chayo Nirodha Evam Vadi Mahashramana Yeswaha. Om Ye Karma Hetu Prabhavam Hetum Tesham Tathagato Yavatat Tesham Chayo Nirodha Evam Vadi Mahashramana Yeswaha. Om Ye Karma Hetu Prabhavam Hetum Tesham Tathagato Yavatat Tesham Chayo Nirodha Evam Vadi Mahashramana Yeswaha. The meaning of the 10-day mantra. All phenomena arise from causes. The causes are taught by the Tathagata. The cessation of the causes as well is taught by the Great Seal. Profound, peaceful, elaboration-free, clear-light and non-composite, such is the nectar-like Dharma I have discovered. Finding no one to fathom this teaching, in silence I will retire into the woods. Beyond utterance, thought, and expression is the perfection of wisdom, which is unborn, unceased, and has the nature of space. It is the object of apprehension of self-realized wisdom. To you, the mother of the Buddhas of the three types, I pay obeisance. The fourth seal to the Buddha's teaching. All composite things are impermanent. All contaminated things are the nature of suffering. All phenomena are the nature of emptiness and selflessness. Transcending sorrow is peace. The Guru is the Buddha, the Guru is the Dharma, likewise the Guru is the Sangha, the Guru is the source of everything wholesome. I go for refuge in the Guru. By the sound of the vibrant drum of Dharma, you liberate all beings from miseries. I beseech you to kindly remain in these teachings until the end of the express of billions of aeons. The Buddha does not wash the negativities of beings, nor does he remove their miseries by his hands. His spiritual realizations are not transferred to them. It is by teaching the truth of suchness that beings are liberated. With folded hands I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to shine the light of Dharma for all bewildered in misery's room. Instructions on parting from the four principles. If you are attached to this life, you are not a spiritual practitioner. If you are attached to samsara, you have no renunciation. If you are attached to your own self-interest, you have no bodhicitta. If there is grasping, you do not have the living. Page 14.
Okay, page 14, when we read this, the reason why we say praise to the Shakyamuni Buddha is some people get a feeling that you praise the Buddha and the Buddha is very happy and the Buddha gives us blessings. This is small children's way of thinking. For a Buddha, whether you praise the Buddha or not praise the Buddha, there's no difference. But when you praise the Buddha for all, you praise somebody for good qualities. So what are the good qualities? Just try to identify what are the good qualities based on which the Buddha is praised. And see if you have some of these good qualities within yourself. If you do have them, rejoice. Because that the identifying the good qualities in Buddhas, the purpose is to cultivate these qualities within yourself. Cultivate these qualities within yourself, and you become a Buddha yourself to benefit all the beings. And if you see that these qualities are not within you, don't worry, you have the seeds of these good qualities, because eventually you have the potential to become Buddha also. So you have the seeds, and identifying what are the good qualities based on which you should become Buddha, you have to cultivate these qualities which you find absent in yourself. So this reciting this will help us serve as a mirror for us. To identify what are the things that I should be doing, what are the things to be discarded, so that I become a Buddha to be like Bodhi Shakyamuni, who become enlightened under the Bodhi tree here in Bodhgaya. So this is exactly what I should be doing. So this is the inspiration for us to get from while reading this.
Page 14, praise to Shakyamuni Buddha. To the founder, the endowed transcendent destroyer, the one born beyond, the foe-destroyer, the completely perfected, fully awakened being, perfect in knowledge and in good conduct, Sugata, knower of the world, supreme guide of human beings to be tamed, teacher of gods and human beings, to you the completely and fully awakened one, the endowed transcendent destroyer, the glorious conqueror, the subduer from the Shakya clan, I prostrate, make offerings and call for refuge. When, O supreme amongst humans, you were born on this earth, you paced out 7 strides, then said, I am supreme in this world. To you who were wise then, I prostrate. With pure bodies formed supremely pure, wisdom ocean like a golden mountain, famed that blazes in the 3 worlds, winner of the best, Lord, to you I prostrate. With the supreme signs placed like a spotless moon, color like gold, to you I prostrate. Thus be like you, the 3 worlds are not, incomparable wise one, to you I prostrate. The Savior having great compassion, the Founder having all understanding, the field of merit qualities like a vast ocean, to you the Tathagata I prostrate. The purity that frees one from attachment, the virtue that frees one from the lower realms, the one path, the sublime pure reality, to the Dharma that pacifies I prostrate. Those who are liberated and also show the path to liberation, the holy field qualified with realizations, who are devoted to the moral precepts, to you the Sangha I prostrate. Do not commit any non-virtuous actions, perform only perfect virtuous actions, subdue your mind thoroughly, this is the teaching of the Buddha. a star, a visual apparition, a flame of a lamp, an illusion, a drop of dew, or a bubble, a dream, a flash of lightning, a cloud, sea condition beings as such. Through these various sentient beings attain the rank of all seeing, subdue the four faults, and be delivered from samsara's ocean, perturbed by the waves of aging, sickness, and death. Now we will turn to page 29. 29.
Okay, page 29. Page 29, the Heart Sutra. Again, I'm going to quickly give you what this is. And we are at the right place. On 12th, the plan thus far is on 12th, we will go to the Rajgir. It's about like 2.5 hours from here, early morning. There's a place where this teaching was given. Heart Sutra happened there in Rajgir. And there's so many teachings happen in Rajgir. And those people who are already from NMC, Nalanda, the studies, and the seniors, they already know. They were looking forward to that, to visit the place, to pay respect. And then the Heart Sutra was actually happened there. And to truly reap the maximum benefit of this recitation, the Heart Sutra, in the first place, Buddha gave teachings, particularly the teachings to wake us up from the sleep of ignorance, so that all the tears of samsara will stop. And this teaching meant to wake us up from the sleep of ignorance. There are so many volumes of teachings given by the Buddha, and the text which we are reading now is known as Heart Sutra, heart, essence of all these volumes of teachings on how to wake up from sleep of ignorance. This forms the quintessence of all these teachings. Very short, very concise, and then you see that there's something which we can read every day and take the maximum benefit out of this. So what is this teaching like? So to give you a little bit of background, the Buddha presided over the congregation, and later when we go there on 12th, we will see the spot there where the Buddha sat, and then the place, from what we can see today, is very small. But I would say that it can be like 2,500 years of gradual change in the landscape, because some of the places that we have witnessed in the history, once upon a time, extremely vibrant city, and now disappeared. So these things happen. So, but the things that the spot is identified, and the Buddha presided over the gatherings, and on the one side was Avalokiteshvara, the Bodhisattva of compassion, and on the other side was Shariputra, and here the Buddha. So on the two sides of the Buddha, you see two monks. Did you notice that? On the two sides, you see two monks there. And why these two monks? There are so many thousands of monks who are trained under the Buddha. Why only two monks there? Why these two monks are so special? To the right side is known as Shariputra, Arhat Shariputra. And why he's very special is that yes, of course, after when the Buddha assumed Mahaparinirvana meaning having left the world. When the Buddha assumed Mahaparinirvana, the Buddha passed down the teachings to Mahakashyap, the great Arhat Mahakashyap, as the next one to lead the community. But why these two are so special? The one on the right is known as Shariputra. And Shariputra, you will see here, Heart Sutra, when you read it, you will see the mention of Shariputra. On many occasions, you see the mention of Shariputra. And Shariputra is considered as the one with the greatest of the intelligence, amongst the Buddhist disciples. And to the left side is Moggallana. Moggallana is considered as the one with the greatest of the miracle power amongst the Buddha's disciples. So, and then once in a while during the course of our teaching, I'll try to explain some of the anecdotes of the miracles which Mukhliyana performed, and of course, the intelligence you can see. Shariputra, everywhere in the Professional Wisdom Sutras, you see the mention of Shariputra there. And so this is a basic background. And then the Buddha went into Samadhi. Samadhi meaning meditative experience of the emptiness, which you're going to study. The Buddha went into this meditative experience. While the Buddha went into this, anybody, when you become a Buddha, for example, say when we are when we're ordinary person, how you can do that? Say they're composing, writing poetry at the same time learning physics. Writing poetry simultaneously the learning physics. How we can do that? We cannot do that. Our mind is not made for that. But when you become a Buddha, you get access to all phenomena simultaneously, which means that, say, while you are just say thinking about the poetry, your mind can also be on physics together. So this is the power of a mind. You can become one like that. Each one of us with that capacity. So the truth, we're talking about the two truths. Two truths, like two very different subjects. So while the Buddha is immersed in the ultimate truth, he also has easy access, simultaneous access to all the conventional truths, two truths. Okay, that we'll learn again. So with this, with the true truth, with the access to the conventional truth, we can interact with other beings. With access to the ultimate reality, you are freed from samsara. Let me repeat this. Don't worry too much. All this will come in the class. With access to conventional truth, you can have access to the world. You can communicate with people. By having access to the ultimate truth, you are freed from the tears, painful tears of samsara. So, being free from the painful tears of samsara, at the same time, interact with the beings so the beings can be benefited. So, with this, the provision the Buddha has, we deep immersed into emptiness. At the same time, Buddha having the power to get access to the conventional world, Buddha blessed Shariputra, inspired Shariputra to stand up and ask question to Avalokiteshvara. Avalokiteshvara is the Bodhisattva of compassion. And later we'll learn that they reach the highest level of the Bodhisattva path, and the next moment they're going to become Buddha. So they're very much like Buddha with respect to knowledge and so forth. So Buddha inspired Shariputra to stand up and ask question to Avalokiteshvara. This is a basic background. Now, after this, then what is the real Heart Sutra? 3 points to remember. 3 points to remember. 1, what was the question asked by Shariputra to Avalokiteshvara? Number 1. What was the question asked by Shariputra to Avalokiteshvara? Number 1. Number 2, what response Avalokiteshvara gave to Shariputra's question? Number 2. Number 3, what is the benefit? What benefit we get if we practice as Avalokiteshvara taught in response to the question asked by Shariputra? 3 points. Number 1, what is that? What is the question asked by Shariputra to Avalokiteshvara? Number 2, what response Avalokiteshvara gave to Shariputra? Number 2, what is number 3? What benefit we get if you practice what Avalokiteshvara taught in response to the question asked by Shariputra? Okay, the first. What was the first one? Was a question asked by Shariputra. So, question asked by Shariputra is that how should a child of a lineage practice the perfection of wisdom? How should a child of a lineage? What do you mean by child of a lineage? Child is okay. Lineage, what is lineage? Yesterday we talked about the lineage of the kings, a prince. This is very important because he's going to become the next king. See, he's the holder of the king's lineage. Likewise, we have the lineage of the Buddhas, lineage of the kings. And of course, which is more important, lineage of the Buddha or the lineage of the king? No comparison. No, lineage of Buddha or lineage of king what? So that you can benefit your subjects. Lineage of Buddha to benefit all the sentient beings. So that is way more important than the lineage of the kings. And who is the one who holds the lineage of the kings? The prince, princess, and so forth. And who holds the lineage of the Buddhas? You, me, each one of us. And how many are from the lineage of the kings? Anyone? Sanjula? We are not from the lineage. Don't worry. Lineage of the king, even though you may feel that, okay, poor guy. No, don't worry. Although we are not the lineage holder of the kings, but no doubt we can become the lineage holder of the Buddha's lineage. Buddha's lineage. How? So to become king, you become a prince, you become a king. And then to become a Buddha automatically will happen. No, it will not happen. You have to make the commitment. May I become Buddha. You're getting it? When you say may I become Buddha, it doesn't mean that may I become Buddhist. This is not the meaning. You're getting it? Buddhist is a ism. Buddhism is a ism. But when you say Buddha, Buddha is a Sanskrit word. It means awakening. It doesn't mean Buddhism. It means awakening. What is awakening? My ignorance is removed. May I be awakened that my ignorance is removed. As simple as that. This is a Buddha. So when you say, may I become Buddha for the benefit of sentient beings, you already start the journey to become Buddha. You already become the holder of the Buddha's lineage. So, as a holder of the Buddha's lineage, when do you become the holder of the Buddha's lineage? When you come to yourself to say, may I become Buddha. So this is the trigger point to follow the journey to become Buddha, to attain Buddhahood. So now, when you say, may I become Buddha, you have to do something. So when you say, may I become Nobel laureate in physics, what should you do? You go to the pubs? If you go to the pubs, you will never become Nobel laureate in physics. What should you do? When you say, may I become Nobel laureate in physics, you have to study physics. You have to study physics. Likewise, when you say, may I become Buddha, you have to do something to become Buddha. What should you do? Remove the dirt. Remove the dirt, and the Buddhahood is inside. Let it manifest by remove the dirt. Your job is to remove the mental dirt. How do you remove the mental dirt? By applying the remedy. What remedy? What remedy? For example, let's say that, okay, this is very important, that my sweater, 1 week ago, okay, listen, my handkerchief, 1 week ago, it fell in the mud. And I was so worried. And I washed it under the running water. It became so clean. Okay, now no worries. So, and just yesterday, it fell it fell somewhere. It fell somewhere. And I thought, no worries, because it'll become clean once I wash under running water, but it doesn't become clean at all. So where lies the problem? Anyone guess? Anyone guess? Huh? No, remedy is same, clean water. Hey, where lies the problem? Anyone guess? The Joyce?
The nature of the dirt.
The nature of the dirt, yes. First I said it fell in the mud. Second, I did not tell you where it fell. You took for granted that it fell in the mud. No, it fell in the grease, oil. With the oil, will you go under the running water? No, because the nature there is different. Earlier, it fell in the ordinary mud. So, you wash it under the running water, it becomes clean. But when it fell in the grease, the grease will not go away with the ordinary water. You need a special detergent. You're getting it? What remedy to apply is determined by the nature of the dirt. As Joyce said, how many agree with Joyce's reasons? Very good. So now we have to what remedies to apply to remove this dirt so that the Buddha nature inside manifests, the treasure inside manifests. So for that we need to know the nature of the mental development. And nature of the mental development we learn more. So to make it very quick here, it all boils down to ignorance. So to remove the ignorance, what should we do? For example, say you want to read a book. So tomorrow is the exam, but with the NMC1, NMC2 and NDC5, quiz, instantly you feel the tension? NMC, okay. NMC, NDC, you feel the tension? Okay, those who don't have tension, don't worry, you'll have tension. Right, later on. Okay, so say you have to prepare for the quiz. And then you say, okay, tonight I have free time, I will be prepared tonight. And tonight, there was a total power cut. Power cut. No light. Then you pray, Buddha, please remove the darkness. If the Buddha is sitting next to you, Buddha will be very upset. What a stupid follower. Whereas you light a candle, Buddha will be very happy. This is smart. This is smart follower. So therefore, the darkness can be eradicated not by prayers. You have to only way by which to remove the darkness is by removing it by introducing light. So it is only through introducing the light of the wisdom that the darkness of ignorance can be eradicated. So what is that wisdom? That wisdom has to be practiced so that if you really want to become the Buddha, may I become Buddha, you have to practice the wisdom to dispel the darkness of ignorance. So what is this wisdom? So Shariputra asked the question, the first one. The Shariputra asked to Arvalokiteshvara. So Shariputra, what he did, as inspired by the Buddha, Shariputra stood up, made prostration to Buddha, turned to Arvalokiteshvara, made prostrations, and asked him the question, how should the child of the lineage, each one of us, when you say, may I become Buddha, you become the child of the Buddha's lineage. So, as somebody who is the child of the lineage, should practice a perfectional wisdom. So you have to practice a wisdom to dispel the mental defilements that you become a Buddha. So how should one practice his wisdom? This question asked by Shariputra. How should child of the lineage practice the perfectional wisdom? This is the first question asked. Then Arvalokiteshvara explained in great detail what is the meaning of the reality. To remove the darkness of ignorance, we have to know the reality, wisdom. We have to cultivate the wisdom. What is wisdom? Wisdom is a discerning mind whose apprehension of the object tallies with the reality. Let me repeat it. Wisdom is a discerning mind whose apprehension of the object tallies with the reality. What's the next question? What's the reality? So then Arvalokiteshvara was explaining in great detail what constitutes the reality. Then, once all these explanations were done by Arvalokiteshvara, number 2 response Arvalokiteshvara to the question asked by Shariputra. Third, what's the third point? What benefit do we get? If you practice this, then Arvalokiteshvara went on to say that if you practice this, all our fears will drop. All our fears of samsara will drop. Fears, yesterday Steve talked about the freedom. The fear is lack of freedom. When we say, and Steve said freedom, and then the Maya was so happy. So, what's the fear? That you don't have the freedom. The lack of freedom is a fear. How many like freedom, raise hands? Yes. So obviously freedom is lack of freedom. Lack of freedom, I don't do freedom, unpredictability. You getting it? The fear, unpredictability is a fear, is a major fear. So the fear, lack of freedom manifests in the form of fear. All the fears will stop because you attain a full freedom. Full freedom. Nobody can obscure you. Nobody can obstruct you. So this is the benefit. That all your fears will stop, all your tears will stop, and you will gain total freedom. And Arvalokiteshvara added that this understanding of the reality, this wisdom, is the only gateway for all the Buddhas of the past, present, and the future. This is the only gateway. If you don't follow this, sorry, there's no way by which to awaken your hidden treasure. And for this, don't follow blindly. Don't follow blindly. You don't have to follow blindly. You have to check it. Say, for example, okay, if I say that the clock, this clock shows 6 time as 6:39. I'm telling you, this clock shows the time 6:39, or let's say this shows the time 7 o'clock. 7 o'clock. So what do you do? You believe in me? You check. Maria, how will you check? No, you're watching this watch, this is different. So I said, this clock shows 7 o'clock. Yours one shows 6:30 something, right? So simply because yours one shows 6:30 something doesn't mean that it doesn't show 7. How will you check that it actually shows 7? How will you check? You come closer, and you tell, sure, I don't trust you, let me check, let me see this. And then you look at Chelsea, looks at it, says, yes, you are not right. Right? It's not right, right? So this is how you evaluate. Don't follow blindly. You heard Aravalokiteshvara said that this is the only path, this is the entrance where all the Buddhas have to get into to become Buddha. All the beings have to get to. All the past Buddhas went through this entrance to become Buddha, to gain true freedom. And present Buddhas, past Buddhas, this is the only entrance. If you don't go through this entrance, there's no freedom. You will have to continue to shed tears in samsara. So we have to check it. Don't just follow blindly. Oh, Aravalokiteshvara said it in front of the Buddha, so we have to follow this. You are not allowed to question. No, you question. You question, check it. This is, only with this, for example, like, no matter how much you believe in Albert Einstein, E equals mc square, you will never learn how to derive E equals mc square. How many agree with me? No matter how much you believe in Albert Einstein, oh, he's a genius in physics, what he said is correct, E equals mc square, and you recite E equals mc square, you will say E equals mc square. 100,000 times for 50 years, still you will not learn how to derive the equation. You agree? If you want to learn how to derive the equation, what should you do? You learn it, study it, practice it, how to derive it. Don't just follow blindly. Einstein said it's correct. You will never learn how to derive this equation, equals to square. Likewise, what the Buddha taught, but Aravalokiteshvara taught, that this is the only entrance gate. The wisdom of emptiness, without this, liberation is not possible, freedom is not possible. When they said it, don't follow blindly. We have to check it. The information is very precious. This information is very precious. But we have to check this information. Without checking it, you will never understand what they are saying. Just by following blindly, you will never understand what they are saying. So, information is very precious. But, what should you do? You have to evaluate the information, check the information. So therefore, the Buddha inspired his disciples not to follow me blindly. So one time, 2003, let's say, so here seems like maybe Aditi is youngest. Okay, anybody who is in your less than 30s?
Yes.
Okay, youngest one here. How old are you?
25.
25. The youngest one is here. So, 2003, before your name?
Laksharaj.
Laksharaj. Before Laksharaj was born. Born, not born. 2003. Born. You're crawling.
I was 3.
Crawling, yes. So, 2003, I was in Cambridge when Laksharaj was crawling. Right. So, he was thinking of, okay, when will we have the Bodhichitta Retreat? After how many years? 20 years. 22 years. Okay. So, I was in Cambridge, Cambridge. And I used to meet many professors, particularly physics professors. And there was one physics professor who was extremely brilliant, very brilliant, but very complicated. You cannot talk to him. You talk to him 2 sentences, you say there's internal contradiction. And you cannot talk to him. People cannot talk to him. And he's also not happy. He was not happy to see him. He's very bright. So one time he said that in this world only physics is education. Anybody from education? From his point of view, physics background? So we are not from physics, we are not from education for him. In this world only physics is education. And I asked him why. He said, okay, listen to the reason that he gave. Akia, you're from physics?
No.
No. Okay, which means we are in the same boat. For him, we are not educated. So he said, because it is only physics which allows you to have a critical thinking. Let me repeat it. It is only physics that allows you to have a critical thinking. All others are imitation of the earlier teachers. This is what he said. I said, just wait what the Buddha has to say. Then I studied the Buddha in Tibetan. In English, the bhikshus and the wise people. So it addresses the wise people, which means who will not follow blindly. The bhikshus and the wise people. Just as a goldsmith tests the purity of the gold by cutting, rubbing and burning the gold, you should also examine my words and put them into practice, not simply because you respect me. Then this physicist, he remained silent for a few seconds. And he said, oh, the Buddha must have been a great physicist. Okay, so and this should be our approach. We should not take even what the Buddha taught, our devotees were taught. We don't say, oh, we believe in you, and we cannot ask you question. No, we can ask question. Buddha encouraged his disciples to ask questions. This is so important. So, and the Buddha added that information is so important, correct information. Okay, for this, number one, correct information. Number two, complete information. Number three, systematic information. That, let's not forget these three things. Correct information, complete information, and systematic information. This is what we need to look for. So, for the correct information, the information is so important. Okay, let me tell you how. And how many of you, I'm sure that some of you are from your professional lines, but the information is so important. How many of you really know the information is correct information is very important? Raise hands. How many of you know that? How many of you know that? Some people take for granted. Say, for example, like, okay, so what happened? Let me just quickly tell you. These are the small, say the wisdom bites, so important in our life. So sometimes I may share in the form of anecdotes. Actually, behind that, there's a wisdom bite there. When I was in class 11, I think age 17, and my math teacher, during the teaching, suddenly he just shared something. He said that one day his car broke down. His car broke, and he took the car to a mechanic. And the mechanic opened the bonnet, and then he looked inside and took a hammer and banged it 3 times. 3 times. Then he started the car. The car started so well, perfect, it's working so well. And my teacher asked the mechanic, how much should I pay you? And the mechanic said, the $300. By today's standard, $300. He banged the car 3 times with a hammer. Bang, 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 $100. Next bang, $100. Another bang, $100. Cheap, expensive, reasonable? What do you think? Akia, reasonable?
Pretty expensive.
Very expensive. Very expensive. Just one bang and $100. That's amazing, right? And the teacher says, no, it's so expensive. You just hit you hit it once and $100. So expensive. And the mechanic said, just listen to what the mechanic said. Mechanic said, I hit it 3 times. That is for free. I did not charge you even a single penny for that. I hit it 3 times. You can also hit it. You hit it 3 times. You can hit it. But I do not charge you for my hitting. I charge you for where to hit. You know how to hit. You don't know where to hit. Where to hit the information I learned from my teacher. You don't know where to hit. Because of this, you brought it here. I know where to hit. I'm charging for where you hit. This information you do not get. You know how to hit, but you don't know where to hit. I'm charging for that. I'm charging for the information that I have. What information? What information? Where to hit. Correct information. Where to hit. Okay. So correct information is so precious. But correct information, oh, it came from the Buddha, it should be correct. This is not how we work. For example, it came from Einstein, so it must be correct. You don't analyze. You never learn how equals comes to square. If you want to know how equals comes to square, you have to practice it, practice the equation, do the derivation. Okay, so this is how we should be doing. So, this is only, so this wisdom alone is the path for all the Buddhas of the past, present, future to traverse. Okay, so these are 3 points. Joshua.
Okay, page 29. The Heart Sutra, the Perfection of Wisdom Sutra. The Arya Bhagavati Prashna Paramita Hridaya Sutra in Tibetan, Serap Ningpo. I prostrate to the Arya Triple Gem. Thus did I hear at one time, the Buddha was dwelling on a mass of cloudless mountain in Rajgriha, together with a great community of monks and a great community of bodhisattvas. At that time, the Buddha was absorbed in a concentration on the categories of phenomena called profound illumination. Also at that time, the Bodhisattva Mahasattva Arya Avalokiteshvara looked upon the very practice of the profound illumination of wisdom and beheld those 5 aggregates also as empty of inherent nature. Then, through the power of the Buddha, the Venerable Shariputra said this to the Bodhisattva Mahasattva Arya Avalokiteshvara: how should any child of the lineage who wishes to practice the activity of the profound perfection of wisdom train? He said that, and the Bodhisattva Mahasattva Arya Avalokiteshvara said this to the Venerable Shariputra: Shariputra, any son of the lineage or daughter of the lineage who wishes to practice the activity of the profound perfection of wisdom should look upon it like this, correctly and repeatedly beholding those 5 aggregates also as empty of inherent nature. Form is empty, emptiness is form, emptiness is not other than form, form is also other. In the same way, feeling, discrimination, compositional factors, and consciousness are empty. Shariputra, likewise, all phenomena are empty, without characteristic, unproduced, unceased, stainless, not without stain, not deficient, not fulfilled. Shariputra, therefore, in emptiness there is no form, no feeling, no discrimination, no compositional factors, no consciousness, no eye, no ear, no nose, no tongue, no body, no mind, no visual form, no sound, no smell, no taste, no object of touch, and no phenomenon. There is no eye element, and so on, up to and including no mind element, and no mental consciousness element. There is no ignorance, no extinction of ignorance, and so on, up to and including no aging in death, and no extinction of aging in death. Similarly, there is no suffering, origination, cessation, and path. There is no exalted wisdom, no attainment, and also no non-attainment. Shariputra, therefore, because there is no attainment, Bodhisattvas rely on and dwell in the perfection of wisdom, the mind without obscuration, and thus without fear. Having completely passed beyond error, they reach the end point of nirvana. All the Buddhas who dwell in the 3 times also manifestly, completely awakened, unsurpassable, perfect, complete enlightenment in reliance on the perfection of wisdom. Therefore, the mantra of the perfection of wisdom, the mantra of great knowledge, the unsurpassed mantra, the mantra equal to the unequal, the mantra that thoroughly pacifies all suffering, should be known as truth, since it is not false. The mantra of the perfection of wisdom is declared, Tayata Om Gate Gate Paragate Parasangate Bodhi Swaha. Shariputra, the Bodhisattva Mahasattva, should train in the profound perfection of wisdom like that. Then the Buddha rose from their concentration and commended the Bodhisattva Mahasattva Ayurvedeshvara, saying, well said, son of the lineage, it is like that, it is like that. One should practice the profound perfection of wisdom, just as you have indicated. Even the Tathagatas rejoice. The Buddha, having thus spoken, the venerable Sharathpatiputra, the Bodhisattva Mahasattva Ayurvedeshvara, those surrounding him, along with the world of gods, humans, asuras, and Gandharvas, were overjoyed and highly praised that spoken by the Buddha. This completes the Arya Bhagavati Prashna Paramita Tridaya Sutra. Tayata Om Gate Gate Paragate Parasangate Bodhiswaha 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 Om Gate Gate Paragate Parasangate Bodhiswaha. By the truth of the three supreme jewels possessing the power of truth, may the inner and outer hindrances be transformed. May they be dispelled. May they be non-existent. May they be pacified. May all negative forces opposed to the Dharma be completely pacified. May the host of 80,000 obstacles be pacified. May we be separated from problems and conditions harmful to the Dharma. May all enjoyments be in accord with the Dharma. May auspiciousness and perfect happiness pervade this place now. Now we turn to page 35.
Okay, eight verses for training the mind. This Heart Sutra we read, so we need to, this is the journey of retrieving your hidden treasure, journey of unraveling this hidden treasure. So this journey is like say a bird crossing the very poisonous river. The bird crossing the river. For that, the bird requires two wings. Likewise, for us to undertake the journey of awakening this hidden treasure within us, we require the two wings. The one, the wing of the wisdom, and the other, the wing of the compassion. We require the two wings. And the Heart Sutra which we read, this is to remind us that we have to practice wisdom. Now, the 8 verses for mind training, this is a reminder for us to practice the compassion, the wing of the compassion. And 8 verses to train the mind, authored by Geshe-la, and who who is being respected for his incredibly great the practice of compassion, and the highest level which is known as Bodhichitta. And the 8 verses which you composed, this is very important, but if you don't get the background information, you may get a feeling that it is very self-denial teaching, self-denial practice, to give the victory to others, take the defeat upon oneself. There's sort of self-denial. There's no self-denial. This is very smart, the practice that he adopted, that he taught. So finally, how many of you would agree with me that of the two kind of persons, one, who is very short-tempered and other very compassionate, the compassionate person is way happier, resigns, overall speaking. And short-tempered is never happy, generally speaking. So, having said this, we're going to learn as the Gogi, your name? Your name? Didi. Didi. Okay. So what Didi said, this compassion. Compassion, what she said is on a little higher reality. But you must find the ground. If the ground is missing, then you start somewhere from a high level. It can fall when you meet with the wrong situation. So finally it comes to that level whereby you see that your unconditional love towards others, that is the one which gives you the maximum happiness. Okay, this is going to learn to develop this compassion. To develop this compassion, there are 2 ways to do that. One is the compassion. They are the discordant factors, non-conducive factors. For example, like what? What are the non-conducive factors for compassion? Which can destroy your compassion? Tell me. Anger, jealousy, selfishness, ego. So they destroy your compassion. So we need to remove these factors which otherwise destroy your the compassion. And on the other hand, you need to cultivate compassion. You increase the conducive factors and diminish the destroying factors or non-conducive factors. So we have to put 2 efforts. So for the same enrich the conducive factors, there are 2 main methods which we're going to study in these 10 days. 2 main methods. And to destroy the non-conducive factors, we have to identify what are the factors which destroy your compassion. Anger, primarily anger, ego, driven by selfishness. So we have to identify these factors and then see what triggers anger within you. What are the factors which trigger anger within you? What are the factors which trigger ego within us? We need to identify these factors and we need to stay away from these factors. So the ego, anger, the discordant factors will not arise. We learn how to stay away from the factors which otherwise would trigger anger, ego. When they arise, then your compassion is destroyed. When the compassion is destroyed, your peace of mind is destroyed, your happiness is destroyed. Okay, so here the author identifies what are the factors which can potentially trigger anger within you. What are the factors which can potentially trigger ego within you? Ego within you. For example, say when you become quite wealthy, there's a chance for ego to arise. When you become very powerful, there's a chance for the ego to arise. So, likewise, when you see, say, Bodhgaya, I'm very excited to go the Bodhichitta Retreat, first time going there, and then you come here, you see 20 people mopping at you. Okay, no, right? Okay, enough is enough. You're getting it. What happens? Your compassion. So, identifying there's the people who are going through miserable states, and nasty, mischievous people, nasty people there, your compassion diminishes. You getting it? So you identify these factors and see how to use these factors to increase your compassion rather than diminish your compassion. So these are the techniques taught by the Bodhisattva Geshe-la to us, and we apply this, then it works magic. That you anger, you conquer your anger, you conquer your ego. The compassion forever remains. Under no matter what situation arises, your compassion forever remains. Okay, so you see that some of them now, when you learn how to apply this teaching in your real life, where it's a win-win, not like win or loss. Although you, on the surface, it says, I give the victory to others and I take the defeat. It's a loss. But it's not loss. This is defeat to my ego. Defeat to my anger, not defeat to myself. You're getting it? These are the very tactful ways by which to subdue our ego, anger, and selfishness, so forth. Okay.
Page 35, 8 verses for training the mind by Geshe Dorji Damdul. With the determination to achieve the highest aim for the benefit of all sentient beings, which surpasses even the wish-fulfilling gem, may I hold them dear at all times. Whenever I interact with someone, may I view myself as the lowest amongst all, and from the very depths of my heart, respectfully hold others as superior. In all my deeds, may I grow into my mind, and as soon as mental and emotional afflictions arise, as they endanger myself and others, may I strongly confront them and avert them. When I see beings of unpleasant character and those oppressed by strong negativity and suffering, may I hold them dear, for they are rare to find, as if I have discovered the jeweled treasure. When others out of jealousy treat me wrongly with abuse, slander, and scorn, may I take upon myself the defeat and offer to others the victory. When someone whom I have held or in whom I have placed great hopes mistreats me in extremely hurtful ways, may I regard him still as my precious teacher. In brief, may I offer benefit and joy to all my mothers, both directly and indirectly. May I quietly take upon myself all hurts and pains of my mothers. May all this remain undefiled by the states of the 8 mundane concerns, and may I, recognizing all things as illusions, devoured with clinging, be released from bondage. Lama Tsongkhapa's love dedication prayer, verse 1. From my two collections, vast and space that I have amassed, from working with effort and in practice for a great length of time, may I become the chief leading Buddha for all those whose minds, wisdom, eyes blinded by ignorance. 7-limb practice. The excerpt from the King of Prayers, the extraordinary aspiration of the practice of Samantabhadra.
Okay, let me quickly explain why this is added here. 7-limb practice is that the how many of you coming to Road Institute, you have brought your bags? Raise hand. Bag, big bags. Big bags? No big bags, raise hands. No big bags. Right? No clothes?
Clothes, not so.
Yes. Yes, okay, you clothes?
Yes.
Some medicines?
No.
Some eatables? No eatables, nothing.
I'm not a good track of a good packet.
Oh, okay. Okay, so you have your bags, right? Okay, whereas if you go to Bodhgaya, do you carry big bags? When you go to the main temple, you carry big bags? No, but when you to a distant place, far away place, then you carry with your bags. Why? Because we need the things which are may not be available there, what you require. But for short distance, you can predict. But further away, you cannot predict. So you should carry things to make sure that what you want is actually what you get. So therefore, on the journey, the longer the journey, we require more preparation. So this 7-limb practice is preparing yourself for the long journey to awaken your hidden treasure inside. It's a long journey. The most important journey, but it's not very easy journey. It's not the quick journey. It's a long journey. So therefore, we require to prepare ourselves. Prepare ourselves. For prepare what? Prepare two things. Remove the non-conducive factors and increase the conducive factors, like the car. By the way, how many of you have driven your own car for like 1,000 kilometers? Raise hands. Yes. So, tell me one thing which is the most important thing. What should you? Those who drove like many 2,000, 3,000 kilometers away. Fuel, right? Okay, one thing, fuel. If the fuel is gone, you can't do anything. So fuel must be there, enough fuel. Likewise, the merit is the fuel, merit accumulation. What is merit accumulation? Mental energy. Mental energy to pursue this journey. So these 7 main practices, 7 items are given here for us to wisely gather the energy to continue this journey till enlightenment. So these 7 things are to be done, and this is so wise. So we do it on a daily basis so that we're constantly being re-energized to continue this journey of enlightenment. Yes.
Page 37, the 7-limb practice, excerpt for the King of Prayers, the extraordinary aspiration of the practice of Samantabhadra. I bow down to the youthful Arya Manjushri, you, the Buddhas, the lions amongst humans, born for freedom in the present, past, and future, in the worlds of 10 directions. To all of you with body, speech, and sincere mind, I bow down. With the energy of aspiration for the Bodhisattva way, with a sense of deep respect, and with as many bodies and atoms of the world, to all you Buddhas visualized as real, I bow down. On every particle are Buddhas numberless as particles, each is the rule of Bodhisattvas, and I am confident the sphere of all phenomena is entirely filled with Buddhas in this way. With the infinite oceans of praise for you, and oceans of sound from the aspect of my voice, I sing the breathtaking excellence of Buddhas and celebrate all of you Sugata's. Beautiful flowers and regal gardens, sweet music, scented oils and parasols, sparkling lights and sublime incense, I offer to you, victorious ones, the Buddhas. Fine dress and fragrant perfumes, sandalwood powder, heat ties, Mount Meru, all wondrous offerings in spectacular array, I offer to you, victorious ones. With transcendent offerings, fearless and vast, with profound admiration for all Buddhas, with strength of conviction on the Bodhisattva way, I offer and bow down to all victorious ones. Every harmful action I have done, with my body, speech, and mind, overwhelmed by attachment, anger, and ignorance, all these I openly lay bare before you. I lift up my heart and rejoice in all the merit of the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas in 10 directions, of solitary realizers here in the Twinning, those beyond, and of all ordinary beings. You who are the bright lights of the worlds in 10 directions, who have attained the Buddha's omniscience through the state of awakening, all of you who are my guides, please turn to the supreme wheel of Dharma. With palms together, I earnestly request, you who being actualized Parinirvana, please stay with us for the numberless and atoms of the world, for the happiness and well-being of all wondrous in samsara. Whatever slight merit I may have accumulated, by making prostrations, offering, and confessing, rejoicing and requesting that the Buddha stay and teach, I now dedicate all this for the full awakening of all beings. 840, the short mandala offering.
Okay, mandala offering. The mandala has a connotation of the essence. Essence of everything good you offer to all the Buddhist Bodhisattvas, that you be connected with Buddhist Bodhisattvas, and you learn the qualities so that eventually you also will become Buddha very soon for the Sevenfold beings. And this hand gesture, there are many seniors who learn this hand gesture later on during the break time. This hand gesture is the hand gesture of the whole world, universe, and you offer this, everything good in the universe, you offer this to all Buddhist Bodhisattvas. And okay, how many you don't know how to do this hand gesture? Okay, Peter, you never learned it.
No, I always call it someone.
Okay. Okay, even this girl. Your name?
Rohan.
Yes, Rohan. Rohan, the last name you don't learn.
I learned last time, but I'm not.
Forgot. Okay, never mind. Okay, good. Good, good. Okay, Rohan, you can learn from Chelsea next time. And Peter, you learn from Gabor. And also the Didi, you learn from Chelsea. And Shobit, and the girl here, Avinash, two of you can learn from Chelsea. Yeah, Chelsea is a good teacher. And the boy, your name?
Chris.
Chris. Okay, Chris can learn from Gabor here. Yeah, and then the experts. Okay, the others. Okay, you don't know. So the Gendula will teach. Gendula will teach those in the back. Steve and others. Gendula will teach. And anyone here? Okay, expert. So here, Amita will teach you. Yes. And Mitri? Oh, okay, Mitri, learn it for that. Okay, never mind. Mitri, Dr. Mona Lisa will teach everybody here. And we have Shalini also, and Aditi here, and Chanchula expert here. So there are so many here. You learn from them. The teacher was also here. Maya,
I just learned.
you learned already. A quick learner, very good. Okay, what about the gentleman behind? You know? Oh, perfect. So you can teach others then. Good. Okay, good. So that is those who are supposed to teach. Don't just make this happen. There are two things: making it happen and teaching them. You getting it? Making them happen will not help. You have to teach them how to make it happen. Okay, ready? So in other words, the visualization is more important than hand gesture. Hand gesture is just for you to have a fun. You're getting it? It's not really necessary. Finally, what to know the meanings, your mind should be changed. It's just for fun. I'm asking you to do this. The mind is everything that good the whole universe contains. You offer them to Bodhisattvas. Okay, ready? This ground adorned with perfume, strewn with flowers, adorned with Mount Meru, the four continents, the sun and the moon. I imagine this as the Buddha felt and offer it. May all sentient beings enjoy this pure land. We'll say this in Tibetan. We'll chant it. And to those of us who know how to chant it, will join me. Those who do not know, just listen to us and join us. Oh, Next two passages, they are very important. So when after making this the offering to all Bodhisattvas, then you make two sets of requests. The first request, let me quickly explain this. This set of requests is coming from the great teacher Gamboba Rinpoche, from whom all these the different Tibetan Kagyu traditions, they all came from him. Incredible great teacher. So the four lines here, the request. The first one says that may may I be blessed that my mind is directed towards the Dharma. For example, we all come here to Bodhgaya, be a part of this retreat, which means that your mind is directed towards Dharma. So that's very important. Many people, they think about the Dharma, this is just nonsense, Their mind is not directed towards Dharma. Then when you're not going into the proper direction, wrong direction, finish. There's no hope for to stop the tears of samsara. Once you're the Dharma, then we can be inflicted with sickness or some problems, tragedies in the family, and so forth, where you cannot be successfully going to Dharma. So obstacles should be freed from. So same man says, may bless the Dharma practice on the proper path, meaning no obstacles that are met. Number 3 is very important. Okay, you meet with the Dharma, and you have healthy, good health, and family confusion, these are not there to obstruct you, no obstruction. And then you go into the studies, practice, meditation, and you grow to some extent. Then you are bound to meet with the people. Other people are supposed to be in the Dharma. They will say, who's your guru? Who's your guru? You're getting it? And then you can become, some guru hunters will meet you. You meet with guru hunters, and they'll say, who's your guru? No. I went to Bodhgaya, and then this Geshe Dorji Damdul, he did not teach us about root guru. No, we don't know about it. You don't know guru. No. If you don't know guru, then no enlightenment. Now you must have a root guru. And to have a root guru, yes, I have. And big names are coming. Big gurus are coming. 1, 2, 3, 4. So you also, and then you also tend to become a guru hunter. You also become a guru hunter. And then at the end, you will end up into problems. You're getting it? Many problems happen because of that. Just yesterday, I got information. I was constantly warning the people, don't become a guru hunter. You getting it? Oh, this guru, that guru, this guru, that guru. And they just follow blindly. And yesterday, one girl was sending me a message about a serious complication. And said, what should I do? I said, I do not ask you to go there. It is you who went on your own. So in future, be very careful, Simply because there's a teacher doesn't mean that you go and you end up in the problems. This is what I told her. Okay, so what I'm saying, this is very important. The third one is that particularly when you're doing good, when you're growing, then the real obstacles come. That is where you can go into the wrong track, wrong path. When someone says, what are you doing? You have to practice Dharma. You have to do mundo. Mundo meaning preliminary practices. Without this, then nothing will happen. Then you're already going, and suddenly somebody pulls you here, there, and then you stop the study, you stop the real practice, and then you end up nowhere. This often happens. So number 3 says, may I be blessed that the path is free of flaws. May I not meet with the wrong path. Where? So some people, they come to, for example, Nalanda courses, Tibet Nalanda courses, they are doing so good, they're growing. You can just see evident, you can see them growing. And then if they are to really meet with His Holiness would be so happy to see that there's somebody who's really going into the proper track. And suddenly, within the span of 1 or 2 years, dropped completely. And then after several years, they come back, that their classmates, they notice that they're already shot somewhere and they are still lagging behind and they regret. This is where, number 3, do you think that, this better, digging too many wells and you don't get any water. So this is the problem. So may I be blessed that the path is free of flaws. They are very enticing things, very impressive things, and can be very dangerous at times. So the best thing would be follow His Holiness's advice. Make sure that just follow His Holiness. This is the ultimate path. Follow His Holiness advice, and by His Holiness advice, just go in that line. You will never fall the prey. to the wrong path. So it says, may be blessed that the path is free of flaws. You can easily meet with the flawed paths or incomplete paths, and they give you the impression that this is the best and easy. And we want best and easy. And best and easy, they're not really best. They can take you haywire. Right? Okay. So then finally it says the fourth one is very high level practice. It will not happen to us just we pray. Maybe blessed that even if the flaws, even if we go enter into the problems, but the problems should not become the hindrance to me. That is on a very high level, whereby I say you're able to see emptiness. You're able to see emptiness. Then with see emptiness, wrong, right, everything you can make into right. For example, some people, even the garbage, they sell the garbage. They make money out of garbage. You're getting it? What is garbage? Garbage is something which you don't want. Not even the garbage, they use it as something useful to make money. You're getting it? Smart, more smart. Hey, smart, more smart. If you will sell the garbage, right? There's no garbage in your company then, right? Even the garbage becomes a product. So therefore, this is smart. This is the fourth line, where you say when you reach to such a level that no external factors, wrong factors can harm you anymore because of your advanced level of the practice. So may I be blessed the flaws are seen in the light of the exalted wisdom. Even these are seen as exalted wisdom. That is very high level practice. We include this form of practice, but the first three, you can be mindful. Then the next part, the four Dhammas of Venerable Bhikshu Master. Bhikshu Master, in fact, is my own teacher, Venerable Geshe Dorji Damdul, who is a lifelong Dhamma practitioner, a lifelong solitary retreatant, and highly realized. And before he passed away, he left some like the will in the form of advice, and I got to know about this, and from there I added from his Holiness' teachings and put them in the form of this four. This will tell us what is a real Dhamma practice. What is a real Dhamma practice? And then don't just follow blindly. I'm saying this again. These four will tell us what should be the real, complete Dhamma practice. Don't follow blindly. Just study these things and study more. And then see what my teacher said. If this really constitutes the complete Dhamma practice, which means Dhamma practice meaning a practice for your well-being, for your complete well-being. That is the thing. Okay.
Page 40, the four dharmas of Venerable Damdul. May I be blessed that my mind is directed towards the Dharma. May I be blessed that my Dharma practice is on the proper path. May I be blessed that the heart is free of flaws. May I be blessed that the flaws are seen in the light of exalted wisdom. The four dharmas of Venerable Bhikshu Mahasapa. Becoming utterly frustrated with the ignorance and grasp and true existence, please bless me to generate genuine renunciation, seeing all aspects of samsara as viciously repulsive. Please bless me that my mind stream overflows with the precious Bodhicitta that cherishes others more than myself. Please bless me to have an immaculate experience of the wisdom of emptiness that does not see even an atom of intrinsic reality on the basis of understanding how things come into being by dependent origination through mere conditioning. Please bless me that my mind stream overflows with the precious wisdom of the non-duality of bliss and emptiness.
Okay, the last part which reads Idam Guru Rabna Mandalakamnaratam. When you say this hand gesture, you dismantle this hand gesture by turning towards your heart. Why? Heart, as we learned before, that is a place where when you become Buddha, it is your mind which is going to become Buddha. The body, we're going to leave it behind. The mind will become Buddha, and the residence of the mind, the main residence is the heart. So you receive all what is offered to Buddhas and Bodhisattvas in the form of blessings. You dismantle it, receiving them in the form of blessings, dismantle at your heart. Idam Guru Ratna Mandalakam Neratiyami. Imagine that now you receive everything in the form of blessings to invoke the Buddha nature. at the heart to make it manifest. Good.
Page 42, The Foundation of All Good Qualities by Lama Tsongkhapa.
Okay, this one is the foundation of all good qualities. This is a roadmap. So thus far, we've already prepared ourselves to enter the journey. Now to enter the journey, we require the roadmap. So this is a roadmap. Only 14 verses are there. This is a complete roadmap from where we begin till the end. This roadmap. And after following the roadmap, then we go into actual practice.
The Foundation of All Good Qualities by Lama Tsongkhapa. The foundation of all good qualities is the kind and perfect pure Guru. Correct devotion to him is the root of the path. By clearly seeing this and applying great effort, please bless me to rely upon him with great respect. Understanding that the precious freedom of this rebirth is found only once, is greatly meaningful and is difficult to find again, please bless me to generate the mind that unceasingly, day and night, takes its essence. This life is as impermanent as a water bubble. Remember how quickly it decays and death comes. After that, just like a shadow follows the body, the results of virtuous and non-virtuous karmas follow. Finding firm and definite conviction in this, please bless me always to be careful, to abandon even the slightest negativity and accomplish all virtuous deeds. Samsaric splendors are unsatisfying and unreliable. Seeking them is the door to all suffering. Recognizing these shortcomings, please bless me to generate a strong wish for the bliss of liberation. Led by this pure thought, mindfulness, alertness, and great caution arise. The root of the teaching is keeping the Pratimoksha vows. Please bless me to accomplish this essential practice. Just as I have fallen into the sea of samsara, so have all other migratory beings. Please bless me to see this, train in supreme bodhicitta, and bear the responsibility of freeing migratory beings. Even if I develop bodhicitta, but I don't practice the three types of morality, I will not achieve enlightenment. With my clear recognition of this, please bless me to practice the bodhisattva vows with great energy. Once I pacify distractions through wrong objects and correctly analyze the meaning of reality, please bless me to generate quickly within my mind stream the unified path of calm abiding and special insight. Having become pure vessel by training in the general path, please bless me to enter the holy gateway of the fortunate ones, the supreme Vajra Vehicle. At that time, the basis of accomplishing the true attainments is keeping pure vows and samaya. As I become firmly convinced of this, please bless me to protect these vows and pledges like my life. Then, having realized the importance of the two stages, yes, Vajrayana, by practicing with great energy, never giving up the four sessions, please bless me to realize the teachings of the Holy Guru. Like that, may the Gurus who show the noble path and the spiritual friends who practice it and long lives, please bless me to satisfy completely all outer and inner hindrances. In all my lives, never separated from perfect Gurus, may I enjoy the magnificent Dharma by completing the qualities of the ages and past. May I quickly attain the state of Vajradhara.
Okay, let us recite this, the mantra, maximum mantra. This is it's actually not a mantra, it's a verse. So you see the statue of Lama Tsongkhapa here, behind, the statue behind, that's the Lama Tsongkhapa, the author, the 17th century author, a great teacher, Lama Tsongkhapa, who started what is known as the Gelugpa tradition. And then this teacher, actually this verse was composed by himself, not for himself, he composed it for his teacher, saying that he equated his teacher, Geshe Dorji. So this, the author, he composed this in praise of his teacher, equating his teacher with three perfect qualities of the Buddhas. When you become a Buddha, you will be endowed with three perfect qualities. The three perfect qualities are perfect love, perfect knowledge, and perfect power. These are three perfect qualities. With these three perfect qualities, you're able to benefit all the beings. Okay, how? This will come later. So these three qualities, they manifest they manifested in the form of three deities. The wisdom manifested in the form of Arya Manjushri, the Buddha of the wisdom. And yes, here, Arya Manjushri, and the perfect love manifested in the form of Arya Avalokiteshvara. Again, there, and the perfect power, Arya Vajrapani. So, on the author, Lama Tsongkhapa, he equated his teacher with these three perfect qualities, Arya Manjushri, Arya Avalokiteshvara, and Arya Vajrapani. And the teacher read the composition, and he erased his own. Original version is Mimezeve Tejin Genese Temeki Mombo Jame Duma Lichunda Samada Kanjeki Besugin Rendawa Shunulu Shalo Soade. This Jesus Rendawa is Lamusongapa's own teacher. Then Jesus Rendawa he erased his own name and replaced that with his student's name. Lamasoda's name, saying that this praise fits better with you rather than with me. And then later, this became highly blessed and being recited all over in Tibet. So this is how this came into being. First, let's say this in English, followed by the chant in Tibetan. You are Avalokiteshvara, a great treasure of non-residential compassion, and Manjushri, master of flawless wisdom, as well as Vajrapani, dissolve hosts of demons without exception, Tsongkhapa, crown jewel of the sages of the level snows, those on top by at your feet amid prostrations. Okay, when we the chant the Tibetan, we skip the third line, not for any other reason, just to accommodate the what do you call it, the melody. Okay, let's say it together. Shamya Soyade. Meaning the verse in English once more. You are a Bodhichitta, great treasure of non-referential compassion, and Manjushri, master of flawless wisdom, as well as Vajrapani, disturb whores or demons without exception, Tsongkhapa, crown jewel of the sage of your Lando's nose, Losantaba, at your feet and make prostrations. Okay, thank you, Joshua, thank you. Okay, now next is generating the mind of consummate yoga, the actual practice. For this, it consists of 4 parts. The first, and then later you also need to analyze why 4, why not 3, why not 5, why only 2, why 4. So the first one is shamatha. Number 2 is renunciation. Number 3 is bodhicitta. And number 4 is wisdom of emptiness. And today we'll do the shorter version. And over the next days we'll do the complete. The idea is that the first, the whole idea is to awaken the hidden treasure within us. A hidden treasure, to awaken it, we have to remove the mental dirt. And what will help us to remove the mental dirt? The wisdom of emptiness. So this is one thing that we will practice. And this wisdom is like a very sharp axe to cut the poisonous tree. And even though the axe is very sharp, what decides whether the tree will be actually cut? The huge, massive poisonous tree, what decides? The woodcutter. If the woodcutter is very lazy, no enthusiasm, then the wood will never cut. You agree? That poisonous tree will never cut. So to make sure that the tree is cut, the woodcutter must have a tremendous enthusiasm. So this enthusiasm will require the best of the enthusiasm. Where there's will, there's a way. If the will is missing, the way is missing. So we require this will. The greatest of the willpower is the bodhicitta. So number 2 is bodhicitta. And to feel this bodhicitta on yourself, to others, for others, that may I become Buddha for them and for all others. To feel the pain of others, you have to feel the pain on yourself. In yourself, and you should have the desire to get into the pain on yourself first. So that desire to remove the pain on yourself is known as renunciation. So we require wisdom, emptiness, bodhicitta, renunciation. These 3 are known as the 3 principal paths. Now, these 3 must be stabilized. To stabilize these 3 practices, we require the single-pointed meditation, shamatha meditation. So today, how many of you heard about, there's the mindfulness meditation, everywhere, raise hands? How many have heard it? So that is primarily number 4. It's not the number 1, 2, 3. You're getting it? So we require all these 4. So this is where mindfulness meditation is correct information or not? It's correct information, but it's not complete. For it to be complete, all 4 are required. All 4 are required. And I'm giving the reasons why the 4 are required. Why the wisdom of emptiness is required? To remove the dirt. This is the only way. Without this, you can't do anything. For the wisdom is required. And this wisdom, even if the wisdom, but whether this will actually remove the mental dirt or not is determined by the motivation. And the best of the motivation is bodhicitta. Number 2, without bodhicitta, this wisdom is almost useless. Even though a very sharp axe is there, it will not go and cut the tree on its own. You require somebody to pick it up with enthusiasm. When the enthusiasm is missing, nothing works. So, enthusiasm. The best wish is bodhicitta. May I become Buddha for the benefit of all sentient beings. So for this you have to feel the pain of others. To feel the pain of others, you have to feel the pain on yourself. If you don't feel the pain yourself, what's the problem? If you don't feel the pain yourself, you cannot empathize with others. Okay, let me quickly share this anecdote. So once there was a couple. husband and wife, and the wife was having toothache. How many had toothache in your life recent? Toothache, and how's that like? Very painful, right? And the wife had the toothache. And how many do have the toothache? How many do not have the toothache recent? You never had this toothache problem. 1, 2, only 2. So don't worry, they are coming, they're waiting for you. They're waiting for you, right? Look at others. Everybody had it. Maya, you had it? Toothache. Not really, you don't never mind. Oh, they're waiting. What about a young man? You had. Oh, the youngest one, he already had. Okay, so that this wife had a toothache and she was crying in pain. And my husband said, look, this is usually the dynamic with husband and wife. I said, hey, why are you crying? Why are you crying? Not gently, why are you crying? No, why are you crying? Look. And the lady said, the wife said, I've had toothache. What is toothache? Tooth is a piece of bone. Bone doesn't have pain. Exactly this happened? Varma said it? Yes. Then next year, the husband had the toothache. Husband is crying. And the wife said, hey, what are you crying? And the husband said, I have a toothache. What is toothache? Tooth is a piece of bone. Bone doesn't have pain. And what did the husband said? What did the husband say? Husband said that male truth and female truth are different. Okay, so the point is that unless you have the pain, you have the experience of the pain, you will not really know how to empathize with others. So therefore, you should feel the pain yourself, pain of samsara, the tears, and then the wish to get away from this must be generated. So that desire to get away from the pain for yourself is known as renunciation. So first we need to wisdom. Then wisdom must be supported by the motivation of bodhicitta, and bodhicitta must rest on the renunciation. So these three things must be supported by stability practice. That's known as shamatha meditation. Today, everywhere, mindfulness meditation. This is all about shamatha. These four. Okay, so today I will give a little more explanation about the shamatha meditation. Single form meditation. Shamatha meditation, make sure that you learn it from, okay, sometimes people say, how long do you meditate? So do you meditate? If you say yes, how long do you meditate? This question. Anybody who asks this question to you, how long you meditate, this is a clear indication that the person doesn't know the real meaning of meditation. Meditation is not about how long you meditate. It's about the quality, not the quantity. You getting it? Those people who talk about the quantity, 1 hour, 2 hours, they don't know the meditation. And in fact, they may be going in the wrong direction. And oftentimes people also say that, I do meditation. And where do you learn from? I learn from YouTube. This is a disaster. You getting it? This is a disaster. So you have to learn it from authentic lineage. Then after that, once you know how to meditate properly, then once in a while to double check how other people are doing, then you can listen to YouTube is fine. But the actual teaching must be from the proper tradition. Okay, and then when you say tradition, it doesn't mean that Tibetan tradition is the best. No. Any tradition coming from a genuine, authentic source, that's perfect. Buddhism, Jainism, Hinduism, Christianity, Islam, Sikhism, or Judaism, everything's perfect as long as it's coming from a genuine where it really helps you to build your concentration. It stops you from mental scattering. It builds a power of concentration. As long as that is happening in a very effective way, that's a perfect. It's not necessary that you have to do only the Tibetan version. Not necessary. So whatever helps you, that's good. Okay. So now to learn about this meditation, by the way, meditation is a system of practice. The practice, the habituation, the practice of habituation into virtue. Let me repeat it. What is meditation? Virtue, the meditation is a system of practice of the virtue. System of practice of virtue is known as meditation. Number one. Meditation, broadly speaking, meditation is of two kinds. Analytical meditation and single-pointed meditation. Of the four meditations which I mentioned earlier, first it falls under analytical meditation, wisdom, bodhicitta, and renunciation. These two fall under analytical meditation. And the fourth one is single-pointed meditation. Analytical meditation and single-pointed meditation. There are two kinds. And usually people say, I meditate, mindfulness meditation. This is all the single-pointed meditation, is not the analytical. You require both. You require both. In the loose sense, so while we require so people talk about, hey, don't react, stop reacting in a meditation. This is very precious practice. But it only stops the reactivity part of your mind, bad habit of the reaction. That is stopped. But meditation is to train your mind. Your mind should be trained in such a way that when it requires to be settled, it should not be reactive. You should stop the reactivity. And when it requires to be reactive, it should be proactive. So you should to suppress the reactivity and increase the proactivity. To stop the reactivity, we require the stability meditation or single-point meditation. And to increase the proactivity, you require analytical meditation. Both are required. There's not just only one. You require both. You getting it? Otherwise, there's a danger. If you only do only one part, which is, for example, like the analytical meditation without a single point of meditation, the problem is that your meditation will not be focused. Focus will not be gained. The power is not there. So with the single point of meditation, without the analytical meditation, your reactivity will be stopped, but the proactivity cannot be developed. It's very dangerous. One time, it was many years ago, perhaps I think about 6 or 7 years ago, we were conducting a retreat in one center, and there was one young boy, age 24, we were 25. There was a young boy who was 23, and he looks very calm, and whatever he said is very meaningful. And after a while, after a few days, he asked me for a personal meeting. We had a personal meeting. Then he told me that he is doing the 10-day Vipassana course. He did the 10-day Vipassana course several times. How many of you know about 10-day Vipassana course? Very good. This is a very good practice. Don't forget it. This is very good practice. But it greatly depends on the teachers also. You're getting it? Some teachers are very refined. Some teachers may not be so refined. So we should be very careful. So this boy, what he said is that he has attended this retreat for, I think, about 4 or 5 times. Then he has been doing this meditation himself on his own for the last 3 years, which means he started when he was 20. And he said that before he started this meditation, he used to be a very hyper boy, very hyper, restless boy. Then after his meditation now, he became very calm. And you can see that in him. And he said that, but I have one issue. And I said, what's the issue? He said that earlier my mind used to be so hyper-reactive. Now the reactivity stopped. It's very calm. But earlier I can be very quick in acting what is required. Now I cannot do that. So even if this image is happening, the mind doesn't react. Mind does not jump to take the responsibility. It's very calm. That is very dangerous. So I told him, okay, because you mentioned this to me, that's good. Otherwise, if I tell directly to the class, then it may not be so good. The way you said it, now it becomes very easy. So you have developed to suppress the proactivity. No, sorry. You have suppressed the reactivity, but you never learn how to activate your proactivity. That part is missing. So where, for example, medical doctor saying in emergency cases, you should act so fast. You should act so fast. Do you understand what I'm saying? In emergency cases, the doctor may have like only 10 minutes to treat on the patient. If you do not succeed in 10 minutes, the patient dies. So within 10 minutes, in some cases 1 hour, you should be able to do it very quick, so fast. You cannot keep the patient under anesthesia for 2 days, 2 weeks. You cannot do that. Patient will die. So you have to act so fast. So that requires a proactivity. You getting it? Proactivity. People confuse the two things. Reactivity and proactivity. They confuse the two things. So they stop everything which involves activity. They stop. This is very dangerous. Stop the reactivity, but increase the proactivity. Don't forget it. Don't forget it. Particularly following for example, like you're a leader. You're a leader, you should not be reactive. If you're reactive, it can be very dangerous. And meanwhile, you should have proactivity. Because if there's some conflicts happening, if you don't act very swiftly, the conflict the spark can become a whole bonfire. You're getting it? You have to act so swiftly that the spark is removed while it's still a spark. You're getting it? So this is where you require both. Okay. So what we're doing here is a single point of meditation, training in single point of meditation, and the emptiness, Bodhichitta, which we're studying, they become a part of the analytical meditation. Okay, good. For the single point of meditation, the highest level of which is known as shamatha. Highest level of which is known as shamatha, and in English it is known as calm abiding practice. Some people also call it as serenity practice. So it's just a different label, different translations. Calm abiding practice or serenity practice is fine. In Tibetan, shine. In Tibetan it is shine. In Sanskrit it is shamatha. Highest level. Now to practice that, the 4 things to remember. First, the body posture. Number 2, focal point. Number 3, identifying the errors of meditation. Number 4, applying the remedies to overcome the errors. Okay, let me repeat it. The first one, body posture. Number 2, focal point. Focal point meaning what are you going to focus on? What are you going to meditate on? Focal point. Number 3, identifying the errors of meditation. Identifying the errors of meditation. And number 4, applying the remedies to overcome the errors. Okay. The first, the body posture. Cross-legged if possible. If not, don't worry too much. This is not mandatory. But if you can do that cross-legged position, that will be helpful in sustaining practice for a longer period of time. How to do that? Right foot on your left foot on your right leg, left foot on your right leg, and the right foot on your left leg. This is your cross-leg position. And the next is very important. Backbone upright. Backbone upright, not like this, not like this, upright, and also not supporting, not leaning against the support. And sometimes if you have knee problem, if you have any problem, the pain problem, and if you have to sit in a chair, that's also perfect, no problem. You can sit in a chair, it's also fine. But the thing is that only if you have back problem, you can seek help of support. If you don't have a back problem, then upright without leaning against the support. And those who do the meditation for a long time, you can feel difference instantly. With a support, without support, with your back reclined against a support, instantly the rigor, level of your rigor, mental rigor will drop. Whereas you sit upright, the rigor will rise. Okay. Then your head tilted forward a little bit. And next is very important thing. That is eyes not closed. Don't close your eyes. Eyes half open, 45 degrees cast down, and ignore. And the tip of the tongue should touch the upper palate to avoid excessive accumulation of saliva in your mouth. Teeth and the lips in the natural course. Breathe normally. Don't force your breath. Don't control your breath. Breathe normally. And right hand on your left hand. Right hand on your left hand. And the two tips of the thumbs joining, forming a triangle. Place the two hands in your lap in a restful state. That is your body posture. So while your body is upright, make sure that your body is flexible, not rigid. It should be flexible. Okay. So this is your body posture. Next is focal point. Focal point is what should you meditate? There are so many versions of focal points. What we're doing here is a very simple one. One, you just count your breath. Okay, you do this. You visualize a tiny white dot. First, I'll give you two options. Tiny white dot, 2 mm or 3 mm in diameter, 3 mm in diameter, tiny white dot between your nose and the upper lip. Your eyes should not be looking at it. Your eyes 45 degrees cast down, ignore. Your mental consciousness should be watching it. For example, okay, scratch this position between nose and upper lip. Just scratch it. Do you feel it? Don't look at it. Feel it. Likewise, scratch your back. Scratch your back. Do you feel it? So what feels? Your body feels that. But when you say, yes, I could feel that, your mental consciousness, the body has passed the information of the tactility to mental consciousness. And mental consciousness says, yes, I could feel it. So now your mental consciousness is active. So likewise, this tiny dot, your eyes are not looking at it, but your mental consciousness should be watching it. Okay. So while you watch this tiny white dot, multitasking. Simultaneously, count your breath. Breath in, breathe out. Cycle 1, again breathe in, breathe out. Cycle 2, just see if you could do the multitasking. Initially it can be a little difficult. And after attempt for 1 or 2 weeks, and if you still find it very difficult, then you can go for only one, either the white dot or the counting the breath. Just count the breath, and there are many other techniques like folding the breath through the right nostril, then through your central channel down, through your left nostril. So all these techniques are there, but not necessary for the time being. Just do a very simple one. Count your breath. Breathe in, breathe out. Cycle 1. Again, breathe in, breathe out. Cycle 2. This is what you need to do for 5 minutes. Okay, good. The next is the identifying the errors of meditation. What mistakes can we make? 2 mistakes. One is laxity, and the other one is the excitement. Laxity is the inactivity of the mind. Mind becomes passive, sleepy, lethargic, and heavy. And the other one is excitement, mental scattering, overactivity of the mind. So these are 2 problems. When these 2 problems happen, what should we do? You apply the remedies. Remedies twofold: introspection and mindfulness. Introspection is to keep an eye on a mind to see whether the mind is actually meditating or is in an excited state or in a relaxed state. This is the job of the mindfulness, to the introspection, to keep a check on your mind to see what it is doing. Then when you see that your mind is distracted or in a relaxed state, then you you apply the mindfulness. Mindfulness is like the rope to bring the mind back to the intended object of meditation. Ready? We'll do 5 minutes. Okay, we just do 21 cycles. 21 cycles, generally speaking. 20 cycles, generally speaking, it'll take 1.5 minutes. Ready? Okay, thank you. Okay, now let us turn to the page 52. Let's do the dedication and then we'll stop here. I dedicate the merits thus gathered towards the realization of the deeds and the prayers of Buddhas and Bodhisattvas of true times, and to the upholding of the doctrine of scripture and insight. Man, all lies through the force of this merit, never separate from the four pillars of mind, a vehicle, and accomplish all the stages of the path, renunciation, bodhicitta, perfect in the two stages. From my two collections, vast the space that I've amassed from working with effort in this practice for a great length of time, may I become the chief Vegan Buddha for all those whose minds wisdom is blinded by ignorance. Okay, three persistence together.